How Sophie Goodfriend and Antony Lowenstein reveal the human and economic cost of Israel's automated occupation. Part number 1. Introduction. A new kind of war. We live in a new era of warfare. It is silent, seamless, and increasingly invisible. No longer fought solely with tanks or missiles, war now unfolds through algorithms, biometric identification systems, facial recognition software, and autonomous drones. These technologies promise precision and efficiency, offering governments powerful new tools for managing conflict and security. But beneath the surface lies a darker truth. These systems also reshape how power is exercised, how lives are monitored, and how entire populations are governed, with profound moral, psychological, and economic consequences. At the center of this techno-military transformation stands Israel, a world leader in the design, testing, and export of AI-powered surveillance and military technologies. These systems are not developed in controlled lab experiments. Their battlefield is real. Their test subjects are living under occupation. The occupied Palestinian territories, especially cities like Hebron, Ramallah, and Gaza, have become what researchers and activists call a live laboratory. It is here that many of Israel's most sophisticated technologies of control are developed and refined. In this environment, identity becomes machine-readable, behavior becomes data, surveillance becomes a way of life. All of it becomes product, ready for a growing global market eager to adopt tools for managing borders, suppressing protests, monitoring inner cities, and identifying so-called threats. Anthropologist Sophie Goodfriend and journalist Antony Lowenstein are two of the most important contemporary voices documenting this process. From different but complementary perspectives, they offer critical insight into the mechanics of automated warfare and the industries that profit from it. Goodfriend's ethnographic research reveals the everyday human impact of life under biometric screening, algorithmic sorting, and drone surveillance. Lowenstein's investigative work exposes the political economy behind it, showing how Israeli companies sell occupation-tested technologies to governments across the globe. Together, their work paints a sobering picture. What begins in Palestine in homes, alleys, and checkpoints does not stay there. The technologies of control perfected under occupation are rapidly spreading, shaping how freedom is curtailed and how power is imposed around the world. The global expansion of automated warfare. 20 years ago, drones were still rare. Surveillance was mostly analog. Data collection happened slowly and often transparently. But in the 2000s, the convergence of computing power, satellite technology, and artificial intelligence launched a new era of network-centric warfare. Governments and militaries began to pursue systems that could integrate real-time imagery, metadata, target prediction, and biometric authentication automatically, rapidly, and with minimal human oversight. Today, many advanced militaries are developing or deploying systems that allow drones to navigate autonomously, identify objects or people using facial recognition, and decide, with varying degrees of independence, whether to flag, track, or destroy targets. Some argue these tools make warfare more precise, reducing unnecessary casualties or prolonging direct combat. Others point to the loss of human judgment and accountability. Regardless, these technologies are transforming the politics and economy of security industries worldwide. Israel, in particular, has emerged as one of the most influential exporters of military artificial intelligence and smart weapons. Its prominence comes not only from technical skill but from the unique operating environment in which these tools are developed. Palestine serves as both development site and proof of concept. Israeli companies often advertise their products as battle-tested or field-proven. It's a powerful marketing statement in the defense sector. Foreign governments seeking reliable systems to manage contentious populations, monitor migratory flows, or suppress dissent turn to Israeli technologies precisely because they have been tried under real-world occupation conditions. While advocates of these tools promote efficiency and security, the technologies often function as systems of social control. They enable governments to project force without confrontation, to track movements without suspicion, and to carve segments of society, often marginalized groups, into categories that can be managed, denied access, or subjected to constant monitoring. Military innovation, although clothed in the language of precision, increasingly serves the language of control. Sophie Goodfriend and the logic of algorithmic dispossession. anthropologist Sophie Goodfriend's work is one of the most powerful investigations into the human cost of this transformation. In her dissertation, Algorithmic Dispossession, she takes readers deep into the occupied West Bank. There, she uncovers the intimate consequences of living under artificial intelligence-enhanced policing, drone observation, and biometric databases that track individuals day and night. Goodfriend's work does not focus on policy or the abstract ethics of technological warfare. Instead, it embeds itself in the lives of those affected. Her research draws on in-depth interviews and long-term participant observation with both Palestinian residents and Israeli veterans. It looks not just at the tools but at their consequences on rituals, relationships, routines, and rights. Her findings are clear. Far from making conflict safer or more manageable, automation and AI technologies extend the occupation into every corner of Palestinian social and psychological life. One of the most chilling examples in her research is the Blue Wolf system. Developed and deployed by the Israeli military, Blue Wolf is a mobile facial recognition app. It allows soldiers to photograph Palestinians in the field and access corresponding biometric records from a centralized database called Wolfpack, which contains detailed profiles including facial scans, family connections, occupation, movement history, and more. This ability to instantly identify, label, and score individuals transforms the checkpoint, a core feature of the occupation, into a digital gate controlled not through face-to-face dialogue but surveillance algorithms. A person whose photo does not elicit the right response from the system may be detained or denied passage. Individuals unaware they were in the database may learn only upon encountering a soldier. Goodfriend describes how these processes turn urban areas into zones of automated control. Soldiers are encouraged to photograph as many people as possible. In some cases, units reportedly competed to collect more faces, gamifying the surveillance process. Residents quickly adapt or attempt to. They avoid public spaces, limit movement, and teach their children how to behave at checkpoints to avoid arrest or penalty. For many, these systems feel inescapable. There is no opt-out. Once in the database, there is no clear way to be removed. There is no lawyer to contact or a hearing to request. The system becomes law. Goodfriend calls this algorithmic dispossession, a term that captures not only the loss of land or rights, but of agency, privacy, and recognition. Her ethnography speaks to more than surveillance. It describes a loss of being. The psychological weight of constant surveillance. One of Goodfriend's most powerful contributions is her illumination of how surveillance becomes internalized. It does not only impose policy, it reshapes how people think, relate, and live. For Palestinians in cities like Hebron or Nablus, the experience of being watched becomes part of everyday consciousness. Even inside their homes, many residents report hearing military drones overhead. In public, they see wires connected to mounted cameras, soldiers with smartphones, and checkpoint officers with tablets. Many spoke of altering their behavior in subtle and profound ways. Men and women reported staying off social media, using older phones, avoiding public criticism, or distancing themselves from known activists. Young people speak of curfews they impose on themselves for fear of being targeted by facial recognition software or drone surveillance late at night. One parent told Goodfriend she no longer sends her child to school alone, not because of violence, but because of the fear that a child might be photographed, flagged, or questioned in her absence. Another resident admitted to staying indoors on days when military patrols are heightened, even if she had errands, simply to reduce the chance of encountering the system. These decisions may sound small, but taken together, they signal a devastating truth. Control does not require constant violence when you can train a population to self-regulate based on the persistent threat of being watched or miscategorized. Goodfriend rightly sees this as a form of psychological warfare. It fractures communities, weakens resistance, and forces people into a constant mental negotiation about safety, privacy, and the worth of even basic activities. The result is not only fear. It is also alienation. Many describe being treated as a number in a database, a threat profile in a mobile app, even though they have never committed a crime or been accused of wrongdoing. For Palestinians under occupation, the algorithm is not an assistant. It is an executioner of visibility, always watching but never held accountable. Thanks for watching. Stay stronger, stay smarter, Stay informed, like and subscribe for more information and for part 2.